Crushing and Busting too, that was one of the things that I think Cool C did, not only on that song, but a lot of times he had those pauses. He
Mm.
would say a little bit of thing and slow down. Like he had a natural gift for doing what you're describing, making it
Yeah,
great, but also making it easy to follow. Yeah.
yeah. And a good portion of that too was Lawrence Goodman too, because Chris could write more complex stuff, and he had rhymes that you'd be like, "Oh, this guy can actually spit," but it was suppressed when recording because simplicity works. And Lawrence kind of had a thing for going after people who was already popular. Like if you think about it, and Cool was pitted after MC Shan. They pretty much damn near sound alike. Like, and when I first heard Cool, Lawrence brought over the test pressing in the house. I thought it was Shan. I was like, how you get the new Shan record? But I knew Shan used to be on his label.
I was
So
about to say
so
the bridge records, the
right.
bridge.
So I thought it was a Shan record. He started laughing. He said, "No, this is a guy named Cool C." And I couldn't believe it because it sounds so much like Shan. But at the time, I was a fan of Shan. I loved the bridge and stuff like that. So it was like working with Cool was like the next best thing to working with Shan for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
But
yeah, Steady B go after LL too.
yeah,
So
Steady B went at the you was a sucker, so I stole your radio. Everybody had somebody they went after. Originally, he was trying to make ES go after Big Daddy Kane because
wow.
because Kane used to rally the words a lot. Attack, react, to move, the build. You know what I'm saying? And ES style is bold. Yes, funky, demand free, funky, get funky. You know what I'm saying? So he was going to go after that, but we didn't want to do that. So we kind of held our ground. We like first of all, we dug the shit out of Kane. Like that was both me and ES, one of our favorite rappers. Like nah, we not coming out this and Kane. We don't even know the man. You know what I mean? Like, why can't we just do what we do and release our record?
Yeah. Oh, and let's not forget Pop Art put out the Showstopper too. So they were going after everybody.
Salt-N-Pepa came after Dougie Fresh, you know.
Yep.
Um, uh, Roxanne Shante was on Lawrence Goodman record.
Yep.
She came after UTFO.
UTFO.
That was his thing. But what people don't realize, like now, you hear disc records all the time. The very first disc records, Lawrence Goodman did that. He had to
That's
give him.
crazy.
He created rap beef on wax.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Huh. So with Crussin' and Bussin', that comes out at 87. That's how I first heard of 3D and knew who you guys were. So then what was going on between that time and then the following year when from the Giddy Up and once more you hear the dope stuff? What was happening in between the release of those two singles?
Well, they was on the flip side of each other. The Giddy Up and Once More You Hear the Dope Stuff.
Well, I meant Crustin' and Bussin' and then from the Giddy Up between those two singles.
It was just the second single. That's
Okay.
all. It wasn't like it was any strategic plan. It was like, all right, we got this song starting to fade out. We need another single. You know what I mean? Tat went in there, and I think he found a drum loop or something like that for the Giddy Up. I wasn't there when that happened. All I know is he has wrote a rhyme. He was over there, and you know, Tat said he did the record, and he kind of said Stead kind of took credit for it. Steady is Lawrence Goodman's nephew. It's believable. I'm gonna say it's believable because it happened before. You know what I mean? Like, but when they actually went to the studio, I mean, everything, the way it was laid and everything like that, like ES wrote the rhyme exactly the way it was. I used to coach him on cadence in the very beginning. After a while, he got masterful with it. Like it was like I ain't gotta even tell you that. He used to kill me because he'd do a take, and I'd be like, "Yo, that's perfect." He's like, "No, I think I can do it better," and I would be so scared. He'd be like, "No, delete that joint. Let me do it over again, Chuck." Come on, man. I'm thinking he not gonna get it as good, and he'll get it even better the second time. all right, he got it. But only thing they used to look at me for in the beginning, mixing and stuff like that. When they did the giddy up, the only thing that was about it that I kind of assisted with was the way things was falling. It wasn't even like when it go it wasn't coming around even. They was just coming in wherever they felt like. I was like, I made it more structured, like even. But everything else was them guys. Like who did what in the initial demo of it because I wasn't there. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take my man Tat for
Well, I was surprised being on the outside looking in that Tap Money, scratched on there as opposed to Woody Wood. Was that just because he came up with the beat more theoretically, at least?
no, no,
No.
nah.
Okay.
It was a more up paced song. Tat scratched better. And that's what it called for. That's what it needed. Tat came in there and he did his thing. It was like ain't no need to do nothing else. That's great right there. Keep it.
Yes, Tat is phenomenal.
Tat. Listen, Tat is a bad motherfucker on the wheels of steel, man. Like, you know what I mean? I'm a Cash Money are like my faves, all time faves at that. But nah, it wasn't even like that. Like, cause we actually it was a Giddy Up Part Two that I did that never got released. That Ara still was sitting with, and it got the same cuts in it, but done by Wood. And you hear the difference. I just say you hear the difference. Tat is more fluid with it. Not
Okay.
to take anything away from what he would, but they got two different styles, you know what I'm
Okay. And then also on From the Giddy Up, you got Once More You Hear the Dope Stuff.
saying?
And I remember that you were credited as Imperial Wizard Chuck Nice. So what was happening with you changing your name there?
I had nothing to do with that. Might have been ES was giving everybody names. Yeah, I was a Soul Imperial. I was Imperial Wizard. E.S.T changed his name and what it meant a few times. It went from an exotic sound teacher to what was it? Exotic sound technician. Like he whatever came in his head and that stuff constantly just came in his head, he manifested it. So, you know, right down to the word Acknickulous.
So what is that? What does Acknickulous mean? How did it come about? What did you think when you first heard it?
I thought it was dope. At the time, everybody was kind of following New York. So everybody was saying they were dope. I'm dope this, I'm dope that, I'm dope this, I'm dope that. Um, what ES did, he created the word Acknickulous, which it meant better than dope. Like it's the level of excellence you want. It's like a supreme excellence. So instead of having a New York accolade and we just using New York lingo, you know, we had our own. A lot of the stuff that we were saying in the records was, our own.
Hmm. Okay. And then
But
since
it
that,
originated, it originated with him and the guy Larry Ladd, the other artist that had Larry Ladd, and it was a dude from the neighborhood. You know how like every neighborhood got that guy that's just so cool that you just want to be like him. And, like he's the guy, he's the go-to guy for advice when it comes to ladies, whatever like that. The guy's name was Nico. So when you wanted to know what was really going down, you go ask Nicholas. It just morphed into Act Nicholas, and then it took on that meaning.
hmm, that's crazy. Okay. So with 3D's doing well, and then you guys are getting your deal and stuff, but then how at the same time or around the same time, Let the Hustlers Play with Steady B, you produced several songs on there, including the title track.
Mhm.
And how did you go from the 3D work to being able to actually produce? Because Steady B at this time, of course, is big. He's been out for years. He's successful. He's on Jive, a different label. Lots of stuff's going on. How did you get to do Let the Hustlers Play stuff?
I think Lawrence wanted to groom me to be a producer because I took an interest in it because I kind of had to. Like I said, it was either that or flipping burgers or something.
Hit the road, Chuck.
The real Jack, you know what I mean? So I had to take it a little bit more serious than everybody else. Everybody else, it was just beat making to them. To me, I got more into the actual production, sound fidelity, just the whole inner working, how it worked. I used to go because I had to learn it. I used to go in other people's sessions and ask them, "Listen, can I watch?" And they would be like, "Yeah, why don't you be quiet? I mean, this ain't had nothing to do with us at Hilltop." And I'm sitting there like this. Then I asked the engineer, "Listen, and you take a break, you mind if I ask you a couple questions? What that do? What is it? What is that for?" You know, and I just became a student. I had to self-teach,
Hmm.
maintain my position.
Okay. Now on the Let the Hustlers Play song, I was intrigued because Steady B, of course, up until, well, often I should say, was very loud, vibrant, boisterous, and all that. But on the title track, the one that you produced, he's much more relaxed, kind of in pocket flow wise.
Right.
So as a producer, as you're making the song with him, did that kind of throw you off? Were you excited to hear that? Like, what was going on in your mind?
I mean, I didn't think it was the kind of track that you shouted on. You know what I mean? So when he was cutting it and he was writing around, and the funny thing about it, like they were from West Philly, we're from North Philly, so their lingo was totally different than our lingo. A lot of the stuff Steady was saying and Let the Hustlers Play is lingo that came from Hunting Park. He would hear some of the guys we hang with and some of the funny stuff they say, and he incorporated it around, you know. And I just thought it didn't need to be shouted. This not the type of record you shout on. It's not a battle record. You know what I mean? It's just some old cool pimp type. You know what I mean? Just say what's on your mind, and that's how it came. It was funny too because it was one of the first productions I did, and uh the word had got back to me through Jive owner Barry Weiss said it was a thing with KRS-One about that single because KRS-One felt like Serious should have been the title track. And it's like, who the hell is Chuck Nice? But here you got me, I'm a newcomer, and they literally naming his album after a track that I did. Chris wasn't feeling it. And I get it, you know what I mean? And I'm a huge KRS-One fan. Last Master is a beast, even to this day. So, but it was an opportunity to do it, and he gave me a few songs to do on the album, and I got with Stan, and we just did them. Then after that, I did some songs on Cool Seed album.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's just amazing because my record that you also did on Let the Hustlers Play, that one reminded me of like a 3D type of beat, the way the drums were and the sounds and all that type of stuff. So, do you remember why that one appealed to Steady B in particular?
Well, a lot of times when we were at rehearsal, because we all be in the same basement, which was Lawrence in the basement, and when each of us is coming up with tracks, we playing beats and playing stuff like that. Sometimes it's just snatch and grab, like yo, E don't want that, Joe, let me get that, or Stead don't want that, let me get that type of thing. So sometimes stuff will get made with the intent to be with this artist, but this artist don't particularly like it. Like funny story, E.S.T didn't like Greatest Man Alive when he first heard it.
Really?
Yeah,
What didn't
but
he like about it?
I don't know because I never get a chance to find out what the story was. Like I played the beat for him, no hook, no nothing in it. I just played the beat for him. And ES is funny. Like when he don't want to do something or he not feeling something, oh, I got writer's block. I can't think of nothing. And this is a guy that could think of something at the drop of a dime, like a write it down, do the whole damn song like within minutes. All of a sudden, you got writer's block. You can't come up with nothing. So I just was like, okay. So I waited a couple days. I bought the same beat back. Didn't change nothing, but I made it about him. E.S.T, the Acknickulous one. I'm the greatest man alive. Oh, this joint is hot. Landscaping. same exact track, but that was about him, so you feel it. But I knew how to get around his thing. I knew what it was. You know what I mean? I know what to get him. I was feeling the track. I felt like this could be a decent track. I got to get him to do this. So I know I'll make it about him. because he likes somebody to butter his biscuits every now and then, So when I did that, writer's block disappeared. It was like he had a magic pill for writer's block. Wrote the whole song right there in front of me. We dropped it.
Well, I was interested too because that was around the time when people were starting to sample themselves. So I thought that was interesting that was at the beginning of the song. So now I better understand why. So that's hilarious. Okay.
And I really was buttering his biscuit. He's too good to be true. He's tall, he's handsome, he's rich, exciting, what was the other thing? Definitely the best thing that's happening. Like it was really landed on thick for him, man. Like he ate it up. Like he was, he's like, yeah, I like this. Like
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
It would be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Yo MTV Raps with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.